On the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
There on the stop. It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 19-yard line.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
He goes to you, it's you. He comes to me, it's me.
On 2nd and 12, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. It got his man complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 81 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. When A.J. Green's on the field, something exciting usually happens, and that was certainly
superior body control, but I love the way he reacts to the football in the air. Finds it, locates it, and goes and gets it before the defensive backs can react.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Home to roam now. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with a downs now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to air it out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A.J. Green. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Bullet good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And some room to work. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. It's a kickoff return of 94 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Dalton, 1st and 10. Flush to his right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. There you go.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And Green with a catch left side. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Andy Dalton. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And caught, right side, Green. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, my 7.
Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, we don't like the 48 right now.
Yeah, 5-6.
Long day. That's going to be a long
Dalton here from the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Geno Atkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Man, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Not only another 1st down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Mixon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
Check four. High. You draw Corker.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now a toss play to Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
It's 3rd and goal.
Hey, lead.
Mike right here. Little Mike 40, Mike 40. I got one, I got one.
Hey, up.
On 3rd down, Bernard. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Bullock will put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Jackson going to throw again. Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked him.
And the pressure gets to him again. Carlos Dunlap racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Williams. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Heads up. Lead.
He's coming. He's coming. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Heads up.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Dalton. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Sean Williams. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Dalton bootlegs out. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Andy Dalton with his third touchdown pass of the game. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken very short.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On third down, Bernard, and he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, in last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Williams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
He's crossing.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Dalton gives to Bernard. Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Williams loses the football. Does the big boy have the juice? And he cuts it right in it and in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble. And they did. Took it the other way for a score. And now, if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle, perhaps, to win this ball game.
Following the fumble recovery, Jackson. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And you can bet the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. So now Dalton. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, some credit there to A.J. Green because he's so tough to cover. Sometimes he causes those penalties.
And he's one of the more difficult guys to cover in the NFL because of his ability to do just about anything on a route. Hard to do. Creates a lot of pass interference calls.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. This time Jackson will throw it. Being chased out left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter.